Okay, so today we are discussing the glories of Shiva, Vrindavan Dham and Radha Kund. So today we'll look at what is a Dham, we'll look at why is Vrindavan so special, and we'll discuss some of the different pastime places in Vrindavan. So let me just check, how many of you have been to Vrindavan? So most of you have been, some of you haven't yet. Well, today is going to be your first day, going there in the mind. So this is, let's start with a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is from 10th canto, chapter 21, verse number 10, and it's glorifying Sri Vrindavan Dham. This is the prayers or the glorification of the gopis of Vrindavan. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Davanam Saki Bhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim Yadevaki Sutapadam Bhuja Labda Lakshmi Govinda Venu Manumata Mayura Nityam Prekshyadri Sanva Varatanya Samasta Sattvam. So it goes like this. O friend, Vrindavan is spreading the glory of the earth, having obtained the treasure of the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Devaki. The peacocks dance madly when they hear Govinda's flute, and when other creatures see them from the hilltops, they all become stunned. So the earth, because it has Vrindavan Dham there, it's actually spreading the glory of the earth. The earth planet is blessed because it has Vrindavan Dham there. That's how special it is. And let's look at what is a Dham. We call it Vrindavan Dham. What does it mean by Dham? So there is the spiritual world and there is the material world. So this is, shall we say, the entire creation. This picture here, hopefully you can see it. And this part of the, shall we say, diagram is the spiritual world. Obviously, it's kind of like a full circle that goes all the way around like that. And this here is the material world. And this here is one universe, and we are this tiny planet here called Earth in this universe. Of course, we have the heavenly planets in the higher regions, we have the earthly realms in the middle region, and we have the hellish realm in the lower region, like that. And in the spiritual world, the Lord is eternally residing there. So there are the Vaikuntha planets, so Lord Narayan, who are the incarnations? Nishingadev, who else is there? Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, Vamana, Parshuram no. Buddha. Parshuram is a Shaktivesh avatar. Yeah, Buddha there's an eternal Buddha. So there's a Shaktivesh avatar Buddha and there's an eternal one. So they eternally reside here. So the spiritual world doesn't get destroyed. The spiritual world is not like the material world. It doesn't get created and then get destroyed and then get created and get destroyed. The spiritual world is eternally existing. And when the Lord comes into the world, what do we call him as? What's that Hollywood film called? Avatar. I'm doing the English accent. Yeah, Avatar. So Avatar literally means one who descends. So what does that mean? It means one who comes. He's eternally residing here, and he descends into the material world at a certain time. And then the Lord goes back again, effectively. Now, in the spiritual world, there are many different types of planets. So there are the Vaikuntha planets. And if we go further, in this realm here, there is Ayodhya Dham. Who lives in Ayodhya? We didn't say him. How did we forget him? Lord Ram. So Lord Ram's abode is kind of, shall we say, higher up or further there. And then right in the center of this lotus, you can't see it fully here, right in the center is whose Dham? Who's Dham? Which avatar? He's not an avatar, but which person did we fit? Wait. Keshav? Damodar, who is otherwise known as Krishna. Shri Krishna Bhagavan Ke. So Shri Krishna, along with Radharani and all the associates, they live in a place called what? Right in the center of this lotus, right there where the laser is pointing to. What's that place called in the spiritual world? Goloka Dham. It's known as Goloka, correct. So Goloka literally means, Go means cows, and Loka means planet. So when somebody asks you, where does God live? What does it have? We tell them, he lives in the planet of the cows. Right? Right? Why are you all questioning, doubting? Where does God live? He lives in the planet of the cows. That's why there is such a heavy karmic reaction for eating beef, for eating cow meat. Because actually Krishna, he very much loves cows. Now why does God love cows? That's his choice. It's like if I ask one of you, Keshav, what's your favorite animal? A panda. Now, panda's his favorite animal. Can I ask why? Because? Because I like it. You see his answer? It's very, almost indignant. Because I like it. And so when we ask, well, why does God like cows? Because he likes it. That's his personality. Why is Krishna blackish, bluish, purplish, like a monsoon rain cloud? Because he wants to be. That's his personality. So it's time we started to accept God rather than as a position, as a person. So his abode, Goloka, full of cows. He loves the cows so much. It's one of the reasons why in Birmingham we started the Ahimsa project, where we don't kill the cow after it stops giving milk. So Goloka is there in the spiritual world. Now, what happens is, because the Lord is very kind, he manifests this spiritual realm, he manifests it down here on earth. And what is it known as on earth? Slightly different. Vrindavan is one specific forest. What is the overall kingdom called? Vrajamandal. I'm looking for a word beginning with Go. The place that he stays. It's Goloka in the spiritual world, and it's Gokula. Gokul in the material world. So this same realm here in the spiritual world comes down as, shall we say, Vrajamandal, Gokul, Vrindavan, whatever name you want to use. They are slightly different, but for the purpose of this talk, we'll use them interchangeably. It manifests, it comes down, it descends into the material world, like that. And actually Vrindavan Dham, Vrajamandal, is eternal. It's never destroyed. Even when the material universe is destroyed, it still actually exists eternally. Because it's a spiritual world. Because the Lord never touches the material world. The Lord is spiritual. He doesn't come in direct contact with the material world. So when he descends, first of all, the spiritual world descends, and then the Lord manifests within that spiritual world. So when we go to Vrindavan Dham, and we look at it today, I wanted to start with this point. When we look at it today, it's all hustle and bustle, and you see there's so many these old buildings, and maybe so much dirt on the road. There's sometimes open sewers. They've done a lot of work now, they've closed a lot of them. But right, you go past these open sewers, what do you smell? Nice smell? Right? Nice smell? What do you go, what is that? Oh my God, it's disgusting. It stinks. And you're thinking, what? You see the hogs, they're like the big pigs, like that, and they're all in the sewers, disgusting. They're eating all the sewage, and all dirt, and people have dropped rubbish, and all this. So when you walk around in Vrindavan, all the hustle and bustle, now more and more buildings are being built, construction work all the time, rickshaws, cars, so much pollution. And I'm telling you, that's the spiritual world. God forbid that's what it looks like up in Goloka. So how do we understand this? So I'm going to ask this to the audience. Question to the audience. So how do we understand it? This is what Vrindavan Dham looks like. Okay, that's a temple. Okay, that still looks nice. Okay, here's a river. Who knows what river that is? The river Yamuna. Okay. Now, if, let's say, that building wasn't there, how do you know, why is that any different from Venice? Why is that any different from Venice? Venice, they have boats, what they call gondolas, and they, people are ferrying people across the river. What's so special about this river? There are so many ponds in Vrindavan area, and we worship, oh, wow, this pond of water. There's millions of ponds all over India. I just go, oh, that's a holy pond. What's so special about this pond? What's so special about this river? How do we see Vrindavan? Okay, so Krishna stayed there and he bathed in that river. Okay, good. But that still doesn't explain when you see all the dirt and dust and smelly open sewers. I'm starting with this for a reason. No, you'll get this, bear with me. So, can somebody explain to me? How do we understand the world? It's a spiritual world. Gaurav, how do we understand it's a spiritual world?
Well, it's kept like that to keep the materialists away. Only see the spiritual.
Materialists will come. How do we see this? If we're saying it's a spiritual world and it looks like this, it just looks like normal India.
We have to hear it and kind of see it, experience it, not exactly see it, but hear and see it. Okay. And of course, we don't have the spiritual eyes to actually see Vrindavan the way it is. We perceive Vrindavan the consciousness we have. So we hear about Vrindavan and we experience it.
Brilliant. We see Vrindavan through the ears. Very important. If you go there with the expectation, oh, this is a spiritual world, then totally disappointed. If you're looking at Vrindavan through your eyes, your material eyes, you won't see Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the spiritual world, but it is covered by a thin layer of matter. It's covered by a thin layer of matter. We have to go beyond that thin layer of matter. And so, in order to do that, we have to first of all start by understanding what is the mood with which we enter Vrindavan. Very important. God was saying, very important. Yes. That's why I'm starting with that. If you don't go with the right mood, you are not going to see Vrindavan. You are not going to experience Vrindavan. Even if you're physically there. This is what Srila Prabhupada says. In Krishna book chapter 38, this is what Srila Prabhupada says. One cannot go to Vrindavan by purchasing a ticket. Damn! Even if it's £1,000 ticket. How much was it? 600, 700 pounds, right? And when it's 600 pounds, 700 pounds. You cannot go to Vrindavan just by purchasing a ticket. The process of going to Vrindavan is shown by Akrur. As soon as he was a devotee who came to take Krishna from Vrindavan. As soon as one reaches the boundary of Vrindavan, he should immediately smear the dust of Vrindavan over his body without thinking of his material position and prestige. One should immediately smear the dust of Vrindavan over one's body. Why? Would any of you... Sorry, listen.
Because Krishna walked on that.
Because Krishna walked on that dust? Okay, yes. Very important. Because of humility. Remember here, the focus of what I'm talking about is the mood. If I ask all of you now, go outside and go roll around in the mud, would any of you do it? Maybe the kids would. Maybe the boys would. Yeah, kids are like, yeah, I love that. He hasn't reached that teenage age yet. Once he reaches that age and he gets self-conscious, that's it. There's no way he would even agree to that. So why is it that we have to do that when we go to Vrindavan? Because it's to remind us of who we are. In fact, one time, two devotees, they saw Gopeshwar Babaji, and they paid obeisances. I think it's Gopeshwar Babaji. And they paid obeisances to him in the Dham. And then they got up and then they started doing this. Dusting themselves off. And Babaji said, hey, what are you doing? Why are you wiping the dust off? He said, this dust is more Krishna conscious than you'll ever be. Well, I remember when I first heard that story, because I used to do that. After hearing that, you put your head down and you get this patch of dust here. And after that, I started leaving it on. Yes, the dust of the Dham is more Krishna conscious than will ever be. It's so auspicious. People actually take the dust every day, they eat a little bit. So I keep a little box of dust, of Vrindavan dust by the deities on the altar. That's how special it is, that's how pure it is. So when we roll in the dust, that is almost like we are shedding our ego, our false ego. False ego means what? False ego means what? I am the doer, yeah? What else? I'm the enjoyer and I'm the proprietor, the controller. That's what false. Before entering the Dham, we shed this false ego. No. Krishna is the doer, Krishna is the enjoyer, and Krishna is the proprietor. He's the controller. We let go of that. If you don't let go of that, you won't be able to enter Vrindavan Dham. So we need to do that first. And then as Mataji said very nicely, Srila Sanatana Goswami comments that because in Vrindavan Krishna goes barefoot and can thus directly mark the earth with the symbols of his lotus feet, that transcendental land is even more glorious than Vaikuntha, where Vishnu wears slippers. So in Vrindavan, Krishna doesn't wear slippers. Does anyone know the story why? You know the story? What's the story? So, yeah, because of the cows. So one time Mother Yashoda, she was scared for Krishna. She said, oh, Krishna, here's some slippers. Take these slippers. I'm scared. What's going to happen to your feet? There's so many thorns on the forest. And the touch of his feet are so soft that if you touch it, the skin kind of goes inwards. Can you imagine if pricked by a thorn? How much it would hurt Krishna's feet. And Krishna said, how can I wear these shoes? How can I wear these slippers? First, you give slippers to the cows. Now, can somebody do the maths on this? There's 900,000 cows, and just Nanda Maharaj, and each of them have 4 hoofs. So what's the maths on that, Mr. Maths teacher? Work it out and then tell me later. That many shoes, Mother Yashoda said, nah Baba, I'm not making shoes for that many cows. So, Krishna goes barefoot. So what did the cows do? What did the cows do? Knowing that Krishna didn't wear shoes because of them, what did the cows then do? They trampled everywhere with their hooves and ground the hard stones into dust, creating this fine dust so that wherever Krishna walked now, it was like talcum powder. This is the dust of Raj. So beautiful. Such a beautiful exchange between Krishna and his devotees, the cows in this. So wherever Krishna would walk, then all the animals, everybody else is very careful not to walk in those footprints. And also, If you want to know where Krishna is hiding, what do? Follow the footprints. That's another way. So Vrindavan Dham is known for that. So there's service in the Dhams. So in Vrindavan Dham, we roll in the dust. When you go to Vrindavan, if you didn't do that before, make sure you do that this time. We roll in the dust. In Mayapur Dham, we do Sankirtan. That's the realm of Lord Chaitanya. And anybody know what we do in Jagannath Puri? We eat. Yes. We honor prasadam. We don't just scoff it down like gluttons. We honor the prasadam. We feast. In Jagannath Puri, we feast. So this is what we do in the different dhams. Isn't it so wonderful? The Lord has made it so easy for us. So nice for us. So now when we first go to Vrindavan Dham, in fact before we go to any dham, we should always get the blessings of who? Lord Shiva first. Now, I know there are sometimes devotees in there, sometimes can get a bit fanatical or misunderstand. And sometimes there are even devotees who say bad things or negative things about Lord Shiva. So let me just say it straight here. That Lord Shiva, he is the greatest devotee. So if we offend or we are offensive towards Lord Shiva, that is, what is that? Vaishnava Parad. It's an offense against a devotee. Just like Lord Shiva, you can almost see him as the greatest guru. You can almost consider him like that. Would you offend the greatest guru? Would you offend the greatest devotee? No. That's Vaishnava Parad. So without Lord Shiva's blessings, again, we are not going into Vrindavan Dham. We're not going into any dham. So this is the temple that devotees visit. This is the official temple of Gopeshwar Mahadev, the guardian of Vrindavan Dham. So generally speaking, when devotees go to Vrindavan, as soon as possible, they try to visit Gopeshwar Mahadev. So this is the entrance to the temple, and then there is a beautiful Shiva Linga there. You can bathe that Shiva Linga. And there's also his bull is there, Nandi, and he said that if you give a donation, of course a donation, if you give a donation, you can make a wish. So when you go there next time, when you go to Vrindavan next time, make sure you visit this temple, make a wish, and make sure it's a spiritual wish. Something along the lines of, please allow me to enter into Vrindavan Dham. And so what I'd like everybody to do now is I'd like everybody to, manasikally, in your mind, I'd like you to bathe Lord Shiva now. Okay? Everybody, you can bathe Lord Shiva. Just in your mind, yes. You can, in fact, everybody stand up. Let's do it standing up. Okay? I want you to imagine the Gopeshwar Mahadev is there right in front of you, in your mind's eye. And what would you do? How would you do it? You know, you've got a pot there. You've got a pot. What would you do? Go on, do the action. Everybody do the action. Pour. Somebody likes to do it like this, holding one arm. Go on, pour. Pour. Everybody pour. Pour the water. And then what do you do after that? You do circumambulation. So everybody could do circumambulation. Wait. Everybody do circumambulation. Yeah, in your mind. You have to close your eyes to do this. Not physically. Do it in your mind's eye. Close your eyes. Do circumambulation. Go around Lord Shiva. How many times? Go around. And then you take the water and throw it onto your heads. And this is a 4D experience. This is a 4D experience now. You may find some water droplets on your head. Right? Pour all the water on your head. Pour the water from Lord Shiva's bathing, from Gopeshwar Mahadev on your head. Not that much water, please, Ananta Prabhu. Did everybody get over this side? Did you get it? Yeah. Delayed 4D. So this is the water. I did Abhishek today. So this is the water from there and from Radha Kund as well. So, yes. Now we have the blessings of Gopeshwar Mahadev. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev K! Please sit down. Did everybody get? I didn't get any. Oh, I already had it. So, begging his blessings, we leave our ego at the door. So just like we leave our shoes outside when we come to a temple, we leave our shoes. Thank you. I definitely need more blessings. Thank you. Ooh, that woke me up. So just like we leave our shoes at the door. Oh my God, it's a bit too much. Just like we leave our shoes at the doorway, we want to leave our false ego at the doorway of Vrindavan. Okay? Entering Vrindavan with humility. Now these are the three principal deities of Vrindavan. Shri Madan Mohan, Shri Govinda Dev, and Shri Radha Gopinath. Now I cheated here slightly. These are actually the Jaipur deities. So last year we went to Jaipur. Actually this deity is, Madan Mohan is slightly outside of Jaipur. Where's the place? Koroli, yes. And it said that if you can go see these three deities in one day, it's like you've taken darshan of Krishna. It's like you've taken darshan of Krishna. Because after the departure of Lord Krishna, so the Pandavas, they were unable to bear the separation from Krishna, so they also left this world. And before they left, they appointed Parikshit Maharaj to be in charge as the emperor. And Vajranabha, he's a great-grandson of Lord Krishna, the son of Aniruddha. He was made the king of Mathura. So Vajranabha missed Krishna very much, and many great personalities asked him to establish the glories of Vrindavan. So what he did was, he excavated all these places, and he sat under the banks of the Yamuna and prayed to Krishna to reveal his divine pastimes. So he actually revealed many of these divine pastimes in Vrindavan. And he called upon Vishwakarma, who is the architect of the Devatas, to install various deities in different places. So these are the three principal deities carved, made by Vishwakarma, the architect of the Devatas. So at that time, the only person who had actually seen Krishna face to face was, anybody know? Queen Kunti had also left. Uttara, so Arjun's daughter-in-law, Arjun's son's wife, Uttara, the mother of Parikshit, she was the only one who had actually directly seen Krishna. Yeah, Kunti actually left with Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, she left at that time, and Vidur. And when she saw the first deity, when she saw Radha Madan Mohan, she said, what part of his body directly resembles Krishna? His feet. So when she saw, she said, oh, his feet directly resemble how Krishna actually looked. That's exactly how he looks. Then the next deity, Radha Govindaji, when she saw him, which part of his body exactly resembles Krishna? The chest. So look carefully. And then when she saw the next deity, Radha Gopinathji, she said his beautiful face and smile in particular. Radha Gopinathji's flower exactly resembles Krishna's face. So we have these three deities. Now they have a specific, shall we say, connection. So there are three types of knowledge: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. Okay? So when we want to achieve any kind of goal, we need these three things. So Sambandha means what? Relationship. Abhideya means process. So, and Prayojan means the goal. Okay, so our Sambandha with Krishna means what? We are what? We are the servant of Krishna. We are the devotee of Krishna. So Krishna Bhakta. Okay, we are devotees. What's the process? Bhakti. So Krishna Bhakti, the process, chanting, doing devotional service, serving the deities, cooking, etc., etc., etc. All these things is Krishna Bhakti. And what's the goal? Krishna Prem. Okay? So now each of the deities, they are the predominating deity of each one of these. So it's going to be pretty obvious. Who's the presiding deity of Sambandha? Madan Mohanji. Yes, Radha Madan Mohan. So he's the Sambandha guy. So this, if you notice, when we did Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu, I did 3 extra prayers. So these extra prayers are to these deities. So let's everybody repeat often. Actually, let's say it together. Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Manda Mater Gati Matsarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohana. So this means, glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me. So we pray to them to help us establish the relationship between us and Krishna. Radha Madan Mohan. Who's Abhideya? Radha Govinda Dev. Yes. So especially for chanting, we want to pray to Radha Govinda Dev, or any deity worship, because the process, when we practice bhakti, we want to get their blessings. So the prayer goes like this. Everybody say it together. Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadumada Shimad Ratnagar Singhasanasto Shimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prestalivi Sevya Manosmarami. This is such a beautiful meaning. I meditate upon Shishi Radha Govinda, who are seated upon an effulgent throne, served by their most confidential associates, in a temple of jewels in Vrindavan, underneath the desire tree. What a meditation. Radha Govinda, imagine them. So just close your eyes. I'm going to read this. Just close your eyes and imagine this scene. I meditate upon Shishi Radha Govinda, who was seated upon an effulgent throne. Sit them down if they're not. Served by their most confidential associates, Lalita, Vishaka, and others. In a temple of jewels in Vrindavan. And see that temple underneath a beautiful, tall desire tree. Shishi Radha Govinda Ji ki! Yeah. So definitely need their blessings. And then finally, Prayojan is who? Radha Gopinath Ji. I'll just let somebody take a photo. Yes. So we pray to Radha Gopinath Ji to get Krishna Prem. It's not working. So the Prayojan Gyan, and this is their prayer. Everybody together. Shiman Rasa Rasaramir Vamshivata Tatastita Karshan Venu Svene Gopi Gopinata Shyestunaha. Shila Gopinath, who originated, Radha Gopinath, who originated the transcendental mellow of the Ras dance, stands on the shore in Vamsivat and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of his celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction. So this is glorifying the Rasa Lila. Shri Radha Gopinath Ji ki. And finally, we have a special deity. Who's this deity? Radha Raman. So it's explained that Radha Ramanji is said to have all three of those features in one. Krishna's feet, exactly like Radha Ramanji. Krishna's chest, exactly like Radha Ramanji. And Krishna's beautiful smiling face, exactly like Radha Ramanji. So I thought we should glorify. So imagine we're in Vrindavan now, we're sitting in front of Shishi Radha Ramanji. Jayo Radha Ramana Haribo, Jai Jai Radha Ramana Haribo. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Haribo, Jai Jai Radha Ramana Haribo. Jaya Radha Govinda Jai Shri Shri Radha Raman Ji, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda Ji, and Radha Gopinath Ji ki. So take darshan. Take the darshan. Leaving your ego at the door. Take the full darshan. Ask for their blessings. Let's ask for their blessings now. So Sambandha, establishing the relationship with Krishna. Abhideya, establishing the process, doing our chanting nicely, doing our service nicely. And then Prayojan, praying to Radha Gopinath Ji to bless us ultimately with Krishna prayer. So well done. You took darshan of Krishna in one day. We did it the speedy way. It took us, I think, 9 hours traveling. 4 hours. So from Vrindavan it took 4 hours to Karoli, and then 3 hours. Okay, 7 hours to Govinda Ji, and then we had to wait till the 8 o'clock darshan, and finally we took darshan of Gopinath. So we managed to do all 3 in one day. So it's hectic, but it's a beautiful experience. Okay. So now let us move slightly in a different direction. So we are kind of leaving Vrindavan Dham area, and now we are going to the transcendental hills of Raj. But before we talk about them, I was there on one of the mountains, one of the hills, and our guide, he explained this to me, and I was like, it's all stuck in my head. I was like, it's really interesting. He said, God. In Sanatan Dharma, we talk about three murti. We talk about G stands for generator, O stands for operator, and D stands for destroyer. Okay? And obviously we know who all those are. So Lord Brahma is the generator, Vishnu is the operator, Aditi, Shiva, the destroyer. Now each of these different personalities all wanted to serve Lord Krishna. Yeah, even Vishnu. Vishnu is Krishna in one sense, but he's also his own personality. Even Vishnu wanted to serve Krishna. So, Brahma, he did tapasya in Satyuga. And when he got the blessings of Lord Vishnu, then he prayed, please allow me to serve you I want to see the pastimes of Krishna. But Krishna said, in this form, you can't see the pastimes of Krishna Lila. But he says, if you come with me, then and you can do some service in this way. So Brahma's 4 heads became the 4 hills of Barsana. So Barsana is where Radharani performed her pastimes, and especially the palace of Vrishabhanu and Kirtida Sundari. Their palace was on top of one of the hills of the 4 heads of Lord Brahma. So Radharani performed so many, and Krishna would come there and perform so many beautiful pastimes. Lord Shiva, he took the position of Nandgaon, the hill that Lord Krishna, Nanda Maharaj, he made his palace there. Because what happened was, because the demons kept attacking, wherever Krishna was, the demons, finally they said, right, let's go stay on top of a hill, then it'll make it harder, at least we can see when the demon is coming. So they stayed on Nandgaon, and that is actually the head of Lord Shiva. Now, who did Lord Vishnu become? Who did he become? Govardhan, yes. Govardhan Parvat. So Lord Vishnu transformed himself to become Govardhan Parvat. Now Govardhan is so special. Anyway, we're going to talk about Govardhan in a little while. Sorry, did you want to take a photo? Give you one more chance. So Brahma, his 4 heads, the 4 hills where Radharani grew up, Vishnu. So Govardhan is actually known as the best devotee. What's the, what is it that the gopis call him as? Haridas Avarya. Haridas, the servant of Hari, Avarya, is the topmost devotee of Lord Hari. So because Govardhan would provide so much resources and facilities for the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and especially the cows. The sweetest grass would be there on Govardhan Hill. the most sweetest water, beautiful waterfalls, and the sweetest water, especially in summertime. So, anybody been to India in summertime? You know what it's like, right? So thirsty, you need water. And Govardhan would provide the sweetest water for the cows and for the cowboys, and of course Krishna. And there were very secretive caves in Govardhan Parvat where Radha Krishna could secretly meet Radha. So therefore, Govardhan Hill is known as the best devotee. And then of course we have Lord Shiva's abode, Nandgaon, so Nanda's palace where Krishna grew up. So let's look at Barsana Dham. Here you can see this is one of the main temple of Barsana. There are many steps you have to climb to get up there. How many have been to Barsana? So most of you have been. You all remember going up the steps? What were you feeling? What were you feeling? She's laughing. She's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Okay, after you got over the steps, after you got over your tiredness of the steps, what did you feel? When you went into the deity areas, let's take darshan. Srimati Radharani ke! Beautiful, it's the close-up. Yeah, obeisances. So what did you feel in that temple room? Did you notice the electric current of Bhakti? Did you feel it? Did you all feel it? Did you all feel it? Radharani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Radharani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Radharani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Oh Radharani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Radharani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Vishabhanu Dulala ki jai, jai, jai. Vishabhanu Dulala ki jai, jai, jai. Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Oh Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai. Srimati Radharani ki jai. There are 4 different hills, so this is one of them. On one of the hills, there is a temple called Mangan, M-A-A-N. And this is the place where Radharani would go when she was really upset with Krishna. So upset that she would just sit, it's like this little dark cave, so underground, go right down as this dark cave. She'd just be there with her. It's like the underground place representing her dark emotions. She was so angry. Now, many of the husbands will know what I'm talking about here. Right? In fact, in the Ramayana pastimes, the queens had a special chamber for this. In their palace, they actually had a special room for this. You know what it's called? It's called the weeping chamber. Right? When KK wanted to trick Dashrath, she went into the weeping chamber. She threw off all her bangles and took off her, like undid her hair and just was disheveled, laying on the ground. This is equivalent. So Radharani, on one of the hills, there's this place called Mangar. And interestingly, we heard His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj actually went there, and I think he spent a good number of months simply chanting in that place. So, recently I was in Hungary, Dham, New Raja Dham in Hungary for Radhashtami, and the devotee gave class. He was explaining how separation is actually at the core of love. That when Radharani feels separation from Krishna, actually all of the time, even when she's with him. So just near Barsana, there is a place, there's a beautiful, I forgot to put a picture, there's a beautiful place called Prem Sarovar. And here, what happened was, it's a beautiful pond, and they have these different like dioceses that go out into the lake. And like a platform that goes out into the lake. It's so pretty. And the story of how that pond actually came about was Radha and Krishna were sat next to each other, enjoying their pastimes in that area. And there was one bumblebee that kept coming and was disturbing. So I think one of the cowboys, probably Subal, something like that, chased the bumblebee out. And then when he came back, he made this point. He said, Madhusudan is another way of saying bee, has gone. Oh, sorry, not Madhusudan. Sorry, Madhu, yeah. So Madhu has gone. So he's referring to the bee. But Madhu also obviously refers to Krishna. So Radharani, on hearing this, even though Krishna sat right next to her, Radharani on hearing this said, Madhu has gone? And immediately she went into this deep feeling of separation and began to cry torrents of tears, even though Krishna's sitting right there. That is how, shall we say, close, how always on edge is Radharani. Because separation is what actually drives the intensity of her love. She's always scared, when is Krishna going to leave? When is Krishna going to leave? And this is a good mood for us to develop. When we are chanting, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has specifically come to help us develop this mood of separation. Because unless we develop this mood of separation, we will still want to stay in the material world. It's only when we have that hunger and that feeling of, Krishna, I'm not with you. When can I get out of this stupid material world? As that feeling starts to develop more and more, your desire to be with Krishna and feel that feeling of separation from Krishna. This is a horrible world. Why did I come here? Stupid. So we develop that feeling more and more. Then that desire, that burning hunger to want to go back to the spiritual world develops. And even though Radharani sat next to Krishna, she still feels separation. And what to speak of us who are actually separated? What should we be feeling? So, when Radharani is in this Mangar, actually one time she heard that Krishna was supposed to meet her, and he got caught up with one of the gopis of the other camp. So Radharani is there, and she has a rival camp, and the leader of that camp is Chandravali. We're all Radharani's camp, by the way. We're ISKCON devotees. Maybe in another yug, maybe another time, Chandravali will have, Lord Chaitanya will come and get to Chandravali. But anyway, we're Radharani's camp. So, one of Chandravali's associates, Padma, she happened to stop. She happened to see Krishna. She said, please, begged him, please come and see Chandravali. She's dying in separation from you. So, of course, Krishna hearing that, Chandravali needs me, there's nothing more motivating, this is a hint for the ladies, there's nothing more motivating for a man than knowing that you need him. So when Krishna heard, Chandravali needs me, he went there, and of course he was only going to spend a little time there. What happened? He spent so long there. Radharani got to find out. She went to Manga. She went into Man. How dare he go to Chandavali? She probably didn't do that, I'm just exaggerating. That's how she felt towards Chandavali. She was so angry towards Krishna. So when Krishna came, get out! Don't come anywhere, don't touch me! So now Krishna's thinking what to do. So he beseeched Vishaka. So Vishaka, one of the associates of Radha, Vishaka said, why don't you dress like a gopi and then you'll come inside and play the veena, do something that will attract her. So Krishna dressed up as, I think her name was, I don't remember her name, Shama Gopi. Not Sham, Shama, R at the end. Shama Gopi, female. So dressed up like this gopi came and he sang and he played the veena. And Radharani was so happy hearing this. She embraced thinking it's a female, Shama Gopi. But of course, as soon as she touched Krishna, she felt the ecstasy and then realized, I only feel this ecstasy when it's Krishna. It's like, she realized it's Krishna. And of course, by that time, she was so happy, her mind, he broke her mind like that. So, husbands, we have to learn that art of breaking our wives' mind. Krishna has to do the same thing. So this was very intense pastimes that were there in Barsana, on top of Lord Brahma's heads. Shri Barsana Dham Ki! And now let us move to Govardhan and then Radha Kund. So this is from Nectar of Instruction, verse number 9. The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathura Puri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan, because of Krishna's Rasa Leela pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, for it was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna and was the site of his various loving pastimes. So I won't read that. I'll read the next bit later. Shri Govardhan Hill, okay? So of course next Saturday is Govardhan Puja, so I won't talk about it too much, but just to briefly say. So how Govardhan Hill got there is actually originally, Govardhan Hill was in the Himalayas. And who knows who this is? Close? Anybody know his name? Oh, Ram Raghav. Hanuman? Good try. Good guess. Yeah, it seems like Hanuman because obviously he's lifting a hill. Good try. His name is Pulastya Muni. Pulastya Muni. So Pulastya Muni, when he went to the Himalayas, he saw, wow, so beautiful. So these the mountains actually have personalities. So he spoke to Govardhan's father, Dronagiri, and he requested, please let me have this, such a beautiful hill he wanted to use to do his meditation and tapasya. So finally, Dronagiri? Anyway, Govardhan's father, he agreed. So Govardhan said, I'll come on one condition, that once you put me down, that's it. You can't move me. So as he was flying down south, then when he was over Rajdam, that area, then all of a sudden Pulastya Muni got the urge to pass water by the Lord's will, by Govardhan's will. And so he put Govardhan down, went and did his business and came back, tried to lift the hill, hey! And then Govardhan reminded him. Well, he said, wherever you put me down. So he realized this was his trick. So he said, I curse you! What was the curse? You will go down into the ground, one mustard seed every day. And how many of you went to Govardhan many years ago, 20 years ago? You went, right? You see how tall it was? And now you go and see, it's disappearing. It really is disappearing. So Govardhan is very merciful. He has actually appeared here today on our altar. So we are allowed, obviously, by the mercy of the Brajbasis, we have Govardhan Shila here today. So Govardhan is actually present here. Shri Shri Radha Giridhari Bhagavan Ke! So I'll bring them. We can do, if there's time, we can do a parikrama afterwards. Yeah, anyway. So that is how Govardhan Hill got to Vraj. And it's such a beautiful hill. Even today the cows are there and they do. So we're not allowed to walk on the hill, just so you know. Lord Chaitanya set that rule because obviously it's the Lord. So we don't walk, so we walk around. So we do Govardhan Parikrama, 22 kilometers. Now it said, so next week on Govardhan Puja, we will do Govardhan Parikrama. You will get a chance to take to do Parikrama of the deities and Krishna Prem Prabhu's deities as well. And it said that if you do Parikrama of the Shila, go around 7 times. It's the equivalent of doing actual Govardhan Parikrama in Vrindavan, in Vraj, the 22 kilometer walk. It takes about 6 hours to do there. Maybe 5 hours, depends how fast you walk. If you're like Kesha Swami, he walks really fast. He does it in 5 hours. So between 5 and 6 hours. Here it'll take you 5 to 6 minutes to walk around 7 times. Like that, less than that. And you get the same spiritual benefit. So yes, make sure you take advantage next week. Shri Govardhan Parvat ke. Now Govardhan is said, I don't know how much it is now, but Govardhan is said to be shaped like a peacock. And the 2 eyes of the peacock are known as Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. So this is from verse 10 of Nectar Instruction. I'll just read the next line. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Her Kund, lake, is as profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis. Who then will not reside at Radha Kund and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, render loving service to the divine couple, Shri Radha Govinda, who perform their Asta Kalya Leela, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe. So, who here has been to Radha Kund and done some service? You've been to Radha Kund and done some service? No? You are the most fortunate people in the universe. So next time you go with this mood. I'll just finish on this point. So let me just show you Radha Kund first. So you have Radha Kund and you have Shyam Kund and you have this, what's it called? The confluence. No, what's it called in Sanskrit, in the Hindi? I forgot what it's called. You have the middle bit. Sangam, thank you, yes. You have the Sangam, so this is the Sangam there. So Radha Kund is on the right hand side. Yeah. It looks like right hand side, and Shyam Kund is on the left hand side. This is a clearer picture. And this other picture, Shyam Kund is on the right hand side, Radha Kund on the left hand side, like that. And these are the beautiful waters of Radha Kund. Now Shyam Kund is very much neglected. Like when you go there, it's like there's just the 1 steps. And if you look, there's hardly anybody there. And you turn around to Radha Kund, it's like full of people, ecstatic. So definitely Radha Kund, Lord Krishna wants Radharani to be glorified more, wants Radha Kund to be glorified more. And this is why. This is verse number 11 of Nectar Instruction. Of the many objects of favoured delight and of all the lovable damsels of Rajbhumi, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love. And in every respect, her divine Kund is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Shri Radha Kund ke! So I just wanted to finish, I'll just read this one passage. This is a book by Mahanidhi Swami, Radha Kund Mahima, or the Sweet Glories of Radha Kund. So he says here, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Radha's Sara, or lake, is nothing but a transformation of her ras, or Madhurya Prem. Shri Chakravarti Pad says that once Shyam became so attracted, captivated and overwhelmed by seeing the indescribable beauty of Srimati Radharani, that he melted into a pool of ecstatic ras. This ras became Radha Kund, Shyam Kund. So the waters of Shyam Kund, if Krishna melted, imagine the personality of Krishna, he melted, that's the waters of Radha Kund. Similarly, by hearing Shyam's alluring flute, smelling his sweet fragrance and beholding his enchanting form, Srimati Radharani melted into a pool of ecstatic rust that became Shri Radha Kund Ke. So therefore, let us now all manasikally take bath. So you have to dip 3 times to go into the waters very, very respectfully. So let me just say this before you close your eyes. When Srila Prabhupada took his disciples there, many of them were jumping around, laughing around, splashing around, using it like a swimming pool. Radha Kund and Shyam Kund, you can't do that. If you want to do that, you can do that in Yamuna, you can do that in, what's that other place called, the beautiful place? Kusum Sarovar. Do that there, no problem. But Radha Kund and Shyam Kund, total respect. The waters of Shyam Kund are Krishna himself. The waters of Radha Kund are Radharani herself. You be very, very, very respectful. Even before you put your feet in, you take the water, begging her blessings on your head, and then you enter. Okay? So do that first. So close your eyes and take a bath in the pure waters of Radha Kund in your mind right now. So pay your obeisances first on the steps. Then take some water and gently place on your head. And very respectfully, hands folded, begin to make your way into Radha Kund. Feel it's slightly cold. Feel the cold waters on your body. And go all the way in as much as you can. And then, as I'm going to count backwards from 3, I'm going to ask you to take a dip. So putting your head down into the water. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Hold your nose and dip. Right in and out. And again. Number 2, and out. And again. Number 3. Srimati Radharani ki. And very carefully come out. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Very carefully come out. Now go across the Sangam to Shyam Kund, and you're going to do the same thing. Pay obeisances to Shyam Kund. And then once you've paid obeisances, take some water and sprinkle on your head 3 times. And remembering these beautiful waters are like molten Krishna. Begin now to go inside. And until you're high, maybe the waters are up to your neck. And then get ready, hold your nose if you need to. Let's take a dip. Once, come out, take a dip. Twice, and once more. Take, and out. Take a nice deep breath. And make your way back across the Sangam to Radha Kund. Pay obeisances again. I know you're dripping wet now. Good. Dripping wet with Krishna Prem. Dripping wet with Radha Prem. Pay obeisances. And again, take some water from Radha Kund. Sprinkle on your head. And again, go inside very, very respectfully. Very humbly. And now get ready. Hold your nose if necessary. Take a dip. 1. And out. Take a dip. 2. And take one more dip. 3. Feel it's nice and cold. And now you can come out, pay your obeisances to Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. And well done. You know you did this on a Ekadashi day as well. In Kartik, so you get 1,000 times the benefit. And on a Ekadashi, you get 1,000 times 1,000. How much is that? 1,000,000 times the benefit. Shri Radha Kund Ke! Shri Shyam Kund Ki! Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki! Shri Govardhan Dham Ki! Jai Nitai Kirtan Prabhu.